disciplined. We stuck to the scouting report. All of our coaches did an amazing job, and we just played so hard for each other. I'm so proud of everyone on our team. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is just being in shape and having effort and the will to work. Defense isn't easy, but it is if you put in effort. So yeah, we're definitely looking to rebound off of our last game. It's a different matchup than the last game.
Imagine playing in a sold-out arena, making history, and nobody sees it on TV. That's what happened to DiJonai Carrington and the Connecticut Sun. But here's the crazy part. Another WNBA game that same week got over 1 million viewers. What's going on? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. Imagine this. TD Garden was crammed to capacity. The crowd is enthused and eager for some WNBA action. However, something is strange. All the large TV cameras are missing. The countrywide networks, not to be found anywhere. This scene was the catalyst for DiJonai Carrington's anger.
It looks like Dallas is tired. Carrington uses the fade. Gray bought it. 6 points for Carrington, all in this third quarter.
What specifically happened in this game to enrage DiJonai? Let's dissect it. It was the first ever WNBA game at TD Garden, and the Connecticut Sun took on the Boston Celtics in what should have been a historic occasion. It sounds thrilling, doesn't it? Not everyone agreed though. Not all of the fans were pleased. As one person put it, it was a low-scoring turnover fest. Hurt. Neither squad scored more than 70 points. That would be like ordering a pizza and receiving a ketchup-stained slice of bread. It's not exactly exciting basketball, would you? Here's where things get strange, though. According to DiJonai, the game was incredible and a must-see event. It looked to be a hit with the arena's patrons. Why, therefore, was no one else concerned? Let's take a moment to discuss numbers. This particular game, less than 500,000 people watched it. Now contrast it with a recent Caitlin Clark game. That particular one, 1.22 million people watched the broadcast. That is over twice as much. Why is this happening? It seems as though Caitlin Clark is packing venues and DiJonai and her colleagues are playing in an empty gymnasium. How in the world does that occur? Is celebrity power all it takes?
And then transition, get into more of a flow action or a secondary action.
Satu got one called also. They got the foul and then both got technicals.
Or is there another factor at work? The truth is that national attention isn't usually a direct result of local enthusiasm. To put it plainly, one commentator said it was something that people got into locally. Story ends here. That has absolutely no national appeal. Awkward, but perhaps there's some merit to that. But DiJonai isn't having it. She criticized the WNBA for not doing enough to promote the game. We're creating history here, she thinks to herself. Why isn't this topic being discussed? Furthermore, what do you know? Perhaps she is right. But for a moment, let's be honest. Can you really blame the networks for not showing there if the game itself wasn't a slam dunk? Pun intended. It's like planning a party, being upset that nobody shows up, and then realizing that you neglected to send out invitations. For DiJonai, this game proved to be a turning point. All of the annoyance she had been experiencing, it simply burst into flames. She wonders, what about us? As she watches other players receive all the spotlight and television time. How about our match? However, it's not just about one game, it's larger here. It has to do with respect, acknowledgement, and the WNBA's future. DiJonai's fury, it's merely the very beginning. For a moment, let's speak about Caitlin Clark. Everyone is obsessed with this rookie who's taking the WNBA by storm. However, why? What is it about Clark that has fans and TV executives alike salivating? To begin with, she's not just talented, she's exceptionally talented. We're talking about scoring scores like it's old hat, smashing records left and right, and creating plays that make opponents stutter. It resembles witnessing a basketball enchantress perform her tricks on the court. This is when the intriguing part comes in. Some of the league's more seasoned players feel a little bit left out.
To the Mabry, a little extra stuff. And a technical.
Discipline, just 2 personal fouls here through 3 quarters. DiJonai has taken a new step.
Even if Clark's star is soaring quicker than a rocket. By some players, I refer to DiJonai Carrington specifically. Recall how upset DiJonai was because her game wasn't receiving any attention on TV. As it happens, Caitlin Clark's game was attracting viewers like free tacos at a food truck, while hers was going unnoticed. More than 1.2 million people are expected to watch Clark perform. That is over twice as many people as watch DiJonai's game. You may be wondering now, is DiJonai just jealous? To be honest, it's a legitimate query. It must hurt a little when you've been giving your all in the league and then all of a sudden this youngster comes in and takes all the attention, isn't that right? The problem is that it's not limited to DiJonai. A number of players are feeling the heat following Clark's explosive start. They appeared to be going along peacefully when all of a sudden, bam, when Caitlin Clark appears, the game is altered. What is the response of the fans to all of this drama? It is indeed a mixed bag. Some people completely agree with DiJonai, stating that the league should do a better job of marketing all of its players, not just the young, flashy ones. Others, though, they refuse to accept it. One fan expressed it bluntly, "Stop crying." Come on, I mean it. Hurt. That must be painful. Another fan brought up the fact that you-know-who was playing in the only Sun games that actually drew crowds. It takes 3 guesses to figure out who they are talking about. The first 2 are off. However, it gets hotter still. Players like DiJonai are being accused by some fans of being abusive and jealous toward Clark. How about stoking the flames even more? Similar to high school drama, but with national TV deals and million-dollar contracts up for grabs. The worst part? One fan said it best when they said, "Nobody cares that Clark is the draw for the most part."
DiJonai Carrington off the bench with the energy, packing the power off of the bounce. Tough finish, beats the buzzer.
DiJonai Carrington out on the break, and once she checked in ice, giving the Sun.
While it may be harsh, is it true? Do viewers genuinely only watch Caitlin Clark, leaving other outstanding players like DiJonai in the background? The WNBA is being shaken up like a snow globe by this whole issue. The new star is drawing large numbers, the old guard feels threatened, and the league is attempting to find a way to make everyone happy. It's comparable to attempting to solve a Rubik's Cube while standing on a unicycle. It's not impossible, but it's challenging. What does all of this imply for the WNBA's future then? Players such as DiJonai are being forced to quickly adjust as a result. They're coming to the realization that they must find a method to stand out and become unavoidable in this new Clark-centric world. Being good is no longer sufficient. You must now be extraordinary, both on and off the court. Here's the crucial query though. Does the league benefit or suffer from this Caitlin Clark effect? She's drawing in viewers like it's no big deal on the one hand. More spectators means more revenue, sponsorships, everything. That must be beneficial, right? Now, let's address the big issue. The WNBA is experiencing significant growth challenges. They seem to be attempting to run before they are able to walk, which is producing a lot of stress.
The number 6 team in the country, right? So we know they're gonna make the run, they're gonna score, but we knew we just had to combat it, and we did that. I just gotta make sure I keep my window so I can still give us some on offense, but it's just focus.
Thank you, DiJonai.
Yeah, no problem.
First, there is the issue of viewership. Given the caliber of players on the court, one would think that spectators would be glued to their televisions. False. The average revenue from WNBA games is hardly higher than that of NBA games. It's similar to inviting only your cousins to your party. Not to mention the attention from the media. The WNBA seems to be the underdog in the sports world, constantly vying for attention and affection. Instead of giving the WNBA primetime slots, most networks would prefer to air repeats of previous games. It's enough to get you to question if they're wearing invisible uniforms while playing. This is where things become pretty complicated. A few supporters claim that the league lacks professionalism. A supporter openly stated, "They'll never be able to grow this league because now, after the jealous treatment of Caitlin Clark, they'll never be covered to get corporate product endorsement, shoe contracts, clothing brands, and television exposure." Hurt. That must hurt. Furthermore, what do you know? DiJonai and other players aren't exactly making things better. Please understand that I understand her frustration, but ranting on social media about not being shown on TV? That would be like to shouting for the rain to stop. It won't change anything, but it might help you feel better. This outburst issue isn't only hurting DiJonai though, they are damaging the reputation of the entire league. Similar to trying to sell a car with a large ding on the hood, you can be sure that people will notice and not be pleased.
Because of everything I've been through and getting me back healthy into the place that I am. But you know, you can't do anything without your teammates.
Carrington has to be a little bit smarter here, right? You just want to contest. Oh, that's definitely well within the time.
Caitlin Clark have success doing this a few times here early in the WNBA.
Let's now discuss endorsements and sponsorships. This is when things become quite complex. Businesses aspire to associate their brand with stars, winners, and crowd pullers. But what if players are displaying signs of resentment and jealousy? You know, that's not exactly the picture Gatorade wants to put on their bottles. Similar to a catch-22. Players must be seen in order to receive endorsements, but they must be seen in order to receive endorsements. It only makes both harder to get when they lash out because they're not getting either. The vicious loop is spinning on Steph Curry's finger faster than a basketball. What then is the WNBA expected to do? With Caitlin Clark, they have a bright new star who is drawing fans in like crazy. However, they can't just call it a day and create the Caitlin Clark show. Numerous skilled players in the league also merit their moment in the spotlight. It's similar to attempting to make all of your children happy at once. Someone will always feel excluded. However, the WNBA is going to have a lot of disgruntled campers if they can't find out how to share the love. The league must figure out how to capitalize on Clark's celebrity status to improve the league as a whole. Perhaps they will pair her up for special events with more seasoned players, or utilize her notoriety to highlight other up-and-coming talents. It resembles exploiting the popular child to make the class as a whole seem cool. For more Hoops videos that cover the latest and greatest stories, click that subscribe button so you stay in the game. If Caitlin Clark can hit a logo 3, surely you can click a button to show your appreciation for all the hard work that went into making this video. It's free! So what are you waiting for? Subscribe and see you in the next one.